Hi, today I'm reviewing the Marc Jacobs Beauty Finish Line Coconut Setting Powder. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money, so you know you can trust my opinion is what I honestly believe. And if you want to help support the channel, give this video a thumb up. So Marc Jacobs Beauty has introduced a few new products. They've got the coconut setting powder, which I've got. They also introduced a new shade of their Dewdrops, and then a new packaging for their Omega Bronzer. So they've got a few new things out there, but the setting powder is kind of what I've been interested in. I've been trying out a lot of setting powders lately. And there's been a lot of new ones that come out recently. I've got the Becca Hydra Mist setting powder. Cover FX Perfect setting powder is probably one of my favorites. And then the Hourglass Veil setting powder also came out, which I love. So you can also check out my review of these. But so I've been trying out a lot of these lately, and the Marc Jacobs one has a lot of things to like in it and a few things that I don't like. So if you're in the market for a new setting powder, there's lots of good options out there, and this is one of them. But if you have more sensitive skin, this would be a pass in my opinion. So let me let you guys know a little bit about it on my Sarah score scale. So my first criteria is packaging.
What's in the boxes?
And they've done a decent job packaging it. On the inside, it's got kind of the simple white packaging that they use for all their kind of coconut products. But on the inside, they've done a decent job packaging the inside. I like this little cap on it because it's got a little bit kind of like a stopper almost. So it stops it from all spilling out of there, which, you know, I've had quite a few setting powders where I'll travel with them and I'll open them up in the hotel room, and then there'll be a huge puff of fluff coming at me, and it's just not fun. So they've done a good job with that. A lot of the brands have become clever lately with their packaging for it. Becca's Hydra Mist powder has kind of a case on it, so you don't have the same situation, although this case isn't quite as effective as some of the other ones. But the Hourglass one, if you haven't seen that one, they did a great job packaging that one as well with kind of a similar style cap. So they've got the H, and then they've got a similar kind of cover on it, so it kind of protects that from kind of exploding as well. So Marc Jacobs Beauty kind of did the same thing, falling in line there. And then the Cover FX, they've got kind of a similar kind of cap, which does a good job. So Marc Jacobs Beauty did a good job with this, so it kind of prevents waste and also kind of protects you from being covered in a powdery haze of setting powder. So overall, the packaging is quite nice. My second criteria is alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol for the unstable. I love it.
This does not contain any. My third criteria is fragrance, and unfortunately, this is where they've kind of gone astray a little bit. They've included fragrance, and then
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
In addition to fragrance, and the word fragrance in an ingredient list could be somewhere of over 140 different components, and it's a trade secret, so companies don't have to tell you what the specific ingredient components are of that. So it's just fragrance, and it's fragrance, so you don't really know. But so in addition to that, they've also included linalool, which is a fragrance ingredient that can be kind of a skin sensitizer. So if you have very sensitive skin, this is probably going to be a pass for you, especially since a setting powder kind of gets in every kind of nook and cranny of your skin and kind of very sensitive areas. So it's better to have something that's fragrance-free. And sometimes I wonder now, I see when I go to the store, I see so many different products for people with eczema and rosacea and psoriasis, and sometimes I wonder if a lot of that isn't specifically actually eczema, or if it's contact dermatitis from fragrance and skincare. And there's really, I don't know what tests they go through. I think it's more of a kind of a deduction process, but sometimes I wonder if more of that is, or maybe they do have eczema, but it's caused from fragrance, because almost everything nowadays, when you look at it, if you look at the ingredient list, they all have fragrance. Even like the Johnson & Johnson, like baby oil, that's got fragrance in it. Like a lot of baby like lotions, they have fragrance in them, which surprises me. I would be thinking if I'd be buying something for like an infant, I would assume that they wouldn't put fragrance in it. But even things that are specifically marketed towards babies and infants and things like that have fragrance in them. So nowadays it's just so normal that many things have fragrance in them. So I just wonder sometimes if some of those skin issues aren't necessarily what they're diagnosed as, if they're caused by fragrance. So that's why even if you don't have sensitive skin, it's better to avoid fragrance, just because there's so many things that can have contact dermatitis or cause sensitivity, or things that are okay when you're inside, but when you go out in the sun kind of intensifies things, like bergamot oil, which is in so many products, is very photosensitive. So once you're out in the light and you're wearing it, it's an issue. So anyway, so I'm getting off my soapbox for today, but that's kind of my 2 cents and my kind of thoughts for today. But anyway, so sadly it does contain fragrance. Thankfully, it's near the bottom of the ingredient list, so it's not as big of an issue, and the scent of it kind of disperses quickly, so you don't smell it for a long time after you apply it. But there's definitely a lot of products where you'll apply it and you'll smell it the rest of the day, even after you wash it off. So anyway, so number 4 is manufacturing location. This is made in the US, so no issues there. Number 5 is ease of use.
That was easy.
And I like how it dispenses quite easily. The little fabric piece kind of prevents you from getting too much on the end of your brush. And it is pretty translucent. You can't even tell that I put it on. So the color shade of this is invisible, and it is very, very invisible in my opinion. There's so many setting powders that will slightly alter the color of foundation or your skin tone, and this one is pretty true to invisible. So that kind of goes into my number 6 criteria, which is antioxidants and pigmentation, or in my opinion, lack of pigmentation. And it really isn't pigmented at all, and it's pretty easy to get a nice even layer on it. And then in terms of antioxidants, it does have a couple antioxidants. It's got cocoa in there, and then coconut, which can also be part of the scent to this, but that's those 2 ingredients have scent, but they're not bad scent because they're antioxidants. But it still does contain other fragrant ingredients. But it's very, very translucent in my opinion. One of the more translucent setting powders I've tried. Probably next to the Hourglass Veil. That one's very translucent as well. And then on to number 7, which is animal testing, and Marc Jacobs Beauty is cruelty-free, thankfully. Number 8 is performance.
You perform or die!
And this performs quite well. It does a good job of setting your powder and your setting your makeup. And it doesn't make your skin look cakey. I'm wearing it right now, and I like the fact that it doesn't make your skin look dry or cakey, and it doesn't accentuate any dry patches, and it doesn't give your skin that kind of flat look that a lot of them can give you, where you just look kind of flat. But it performs quite well and does a good job of setting your makeup. And also, if you do some of the under eye baking, this can be used for that as well. It does a great job of that too. On to number 9, which is the price.
The price? Your soul.
And the sad part is it's pretty expensive. It's $44 for 0.28 ounces, which is pretty expensive unless you can get it on sale. So definitely always be watching for sales. There's always sales at all these various beauty stores. Ike, you want to come in and say hi? I think Ike could smell the cocoa and the coconut. Ike, could you smell the cocoa and the coconut? Anyway. He just wants a massage, I think. Ike, he's massaging himself on the armrest. Although yesterday, I'll say, I was trying to take pictures of my other dog, Lincoln, who is in the distance. I'll have to add one of these pictures, but so I was out there at the deck starting to take a picture of Lincoln, and Ike stepped right in front of the camera. Is like, nope, you're taking a picture of me. Don't even look at Lincoln. I'm in the picture now, so I'll have to include that in the video. It's quite funny. I got like 10 pictures and Ike is in front of all of them, so. Hi. You're such a good boy. Yeah, okay. And on to number 10, which is the it factor, and that was the other thing. I didn't find this to have as much of the it factor as some of the other Marc Jacobs products. Their Omega bronzer always sells out almost immediately, and every type of packaging they do, it sells out quite fast. So this one just wasn't as exciting as some of their other newer products, but still worth checking out if you like Marc Jacobs and you like their coconut line. Hi, Ike. Ike is going to knock over everything I have on the shelves behind me. Thank you, Ike. So anyway, overall, this got a 7 out of 10, which is quite good. Had they avoided some of the fragrance, they would have done a little bit better, but still a decent setting powder. So I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to give this a try yet or not, or if you've tried any of the other Marc Jacobs products or any of the new ones that have come out. What have you tried and how have you liked it? So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already. I come with at least one new review every day. And check out nobsbeauty.net and the Amazon link below. Thank you so much, guys.